Often we are silenced, or we feel like we should remain silent about our stories, and specifically people who hurt us in our stories, because we don't want to talk bad about them. So they did something hurtful, painful, that caused something to us, and we feel afraid, or we were taught to be silent about it, so we don't ever share our story. But listen, let me tell y'all something that'll free you, that will bless you. Okay, one of the things that I'm learning is go ahead and just say what happened. Okay, go ahead and say what happened. Why is it that we are expected to be quiet about what somebody else did to us? Like, socially, where do we get that from? That is such a horrible thing that we've all picked up. So the person who is hurt now has to be silenced about their hurt. And this person who's wilding out and acting crazy, or doing untoward things to other people and causing harm to other people, they just get a free pass to live their life without no one ever hearing this is what happened. But I just was sitting here, I'm looking at me on this video, I'm telling the story about this person, and I'm thinking to myself, younger you wouldn't have told this story on the internet, because younger you would have been like, well, I mean, she did do that. It did feel that way to me. But, you know, what if she sees this video? And what if somebody who knows her sees this video? And what if somebody who knows her, who knows who I'm talking about, sees this video, and all of that? But here's the thing. I'm not saying something that didn't happen. And I'm not saying it in an aggressive or mean, screaming, angry way, accusatory, or anything like that. I'm literally describing my experience. And that's true for other things too. Like, we feel like we're afraid to just literally say what happened to us. So now we in a chokehold, we in a neck hole, because they did something that caused us pain, and we can't even regulate ourselves and sit down and say, this is what happened and it caused me pain, because we're so bothered about whether they might hear back. And I don't know, I guess cause us more pain. I don't know. But as I've done my work, and as I have learned to differentiate, to regulate my emotions, to be able to find, discern what I'm actually feeling on the inside of myself, just so I can know what my emotions and my feelings are, and then learn the vocabulary to be able to express that, and find the balance from being fully silent to like screaming and yelling, because there's a middle ground. And people, when they've been silenced for so long, you typically like swing all the way to the other side when you're trying to figure out how to set and express your boundaries. Like, once I have started doing all this kind of work, I find myself doing things like I'm doing on this video, calmly saying, this is what happened. And who's going to fault me for saying this is what happened? I mean, it's what happened. Now, did they have the same experience as I did? Probably not. But I get to share my experience, good, bad, or indifferent. I get to say what happened to me. I get to say how it made me feel. And if someone else can't hear or exist when someone says that what they did, you know, caused emotion in another person, then they have work to do to differentiate themselves, right? I mean, it's part of the human experience to be, I heard there was a quote or something one time that says, you are the villain in somebody's story. Like, we are all the villain in somebody's story. There is somebody out there right now who is, you know, who has stumbled on a video of mine, and they're just like, that's that girl that fill in the blank to me. And listen, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Intention is different than impact. Who knows? But that doesn't diminish their experience of me, and they can say that if they want to. Okay? And I can say that if I want to. And listen, this is a big deal, specifically with like parents. Man, we could go to the grave sometimes and we will not say anything. I literally have a video right now on TikTok. You guys know these videos are ahead. I film them ahead, so it's in December right now. But I have a video that's kind of, it's not going viral, but it's like my most popular video on TikTok so far. I don't have that many followers. I had like 200 something followers a few days ago, and now I have 336. So I've like gotten over 100 followers off this video. I'm looking to see how many. It has it has just 27,000 views. I open my inbox, has 51. I have 51 inbox notifications and stuff because of this video, right? So I'm getting a lot of views. And it's a video about okay, my husband decided to shred things apparently. Anyway, it's a video where I asked, what did your mother teach you about men? And the comment section is fraught and strewn with people telling their stories. And for every single person on that video who was brave enough to comment and say exactly what their experience of their mother was, and for every single person who was brave enough to duet with me and stitch a video with me and all of the things you do on TikTok to respond to me, there's probably 10 or 20 women for every person who said something in the comment section of that video who are reading and lurking in silence, but unwilling to say anything about the pain that was caused by their mom or the men in their life or whoever would answer that video on the internet. How do I know that? Because I'm that person. I was that person in a lot of ways, and I still am in some ways. Listen, I'm not saying you just put all your business on the internet. If that's what you get out of this video, that's not what I mean. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I want somebody to understand that you are allowed. You have the permission to own and tell your story. And the easiest way to get to that point is to do the work that you have to do for you on the inside, to love you, to know you, to cherish you, to be your best friend, to be the person that's looking out for you on the planet, to be able to soothe yourself, self-soothe and self-regulate and differentiate from other people and know what happened to you and get your vocabulary so that you can calmly say, without apology and without daggone concern for somebody else who treated you poorly, hearing back about what you said, you can say what happened to you. And you know what? The worst thing that they can do is get big mad that you said what happened to you. But shouldn't they be madder at the fact that they were being a trash person to you? I mean, I'm just saying, you're not gonna get mad because you were trash. You're gonna get mad because the person said you were trash. Like, be better, do better. Anyway. Hey you guys, it's Editing Rushni. Yes, I told you guys, I am way in the future. So this video was filmed in December and it is now March and I'm editing it. So you guys are probably gonna see it in a week or two. And the irony of the fact that I just spoke to my therapist about this exact same topic 2 or 3 days ago does not escape me. So I basically booked a therapy appointment to ask him or to talk to him about telling your story without dragging people all over the place. And it's interesting because I didn't even realize I filmed this, but I wanted to weigh in and tell you what he told me and why I kind of disagree with what he said. So here we go. All right, so the 2 things that I got from my therapy session with him is, don't make my story about me. And listen, the example that we were working from, you'll understand it, is, for example, let's say I bring somebody on my Find Your Light Live and I have like a guest and they're talking about a topic that I am very intimately acquainted with, but I'm not ready to tell people I'm intimately acquainted with it, right? He was like, there's no reason to bring me into the story. And I was like, that makes perfect sense. And it still makes perfect sense. However, the next day, and as I journaled and everything, I kind of thought about the fact that that's more how therapists have to be and not necessarily how stoic and separate I have to be as a coach or as a content creator. Because part of what I think draws people to me, as well as part of what is like the natural healing ability of humans, is to connect to the story of another. So if I totally remove myself from the story and kind of tell it in this blank way, it doesn't have the same effect. Although I understand why he would say that, because as a therapist, that's kind of what they have to do. The other thing that he didn't say this to me, but I got from it, our conversation, was I have to reframe how I look at at choosing to not say something about a specific person's behavior. So in the past, and even up until recently, I would think of it as feeling like I was silenced, right? So you don't say the person did something bad to you, because as a child or whatever, or even, you know, as a young adult, you didn't have the ability to say it, or people didn't believe you, even if you had the vocabulary and ability to say it. And now as an adult, I can begin the process of reframing and telling myself, no, I'm just choosing not to for XYZ reasons. But the work I have to do is to know why I'm choosing not to do that, not to say this person's part in the story outright, and then own the fact that it was my choice. So anyway, I just thought this is not something that I have attained completely, but it's definitely something that I've clearly been thinking about 3 months later, to the point that I just spoke to my therapist about this just a few days ago. So anyway, hopefully this helps you. Yeah, leave your questions and comments down below. You never know, they may become the next video. And until the next video, Zion, be well. Be encouraged, you guys. Here's a pineapple. Bye, y'all.